What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome back to my Monday Night Raw reactions for the week of August the 22nd, 2016. As always, let me know what you thought of Raw down in the comments below when I will get to my hopefully short, rambling thoughts on this Raw reaction video. We start out with a SummerSlam recap package with the Universal title, and then we go to the announcers who say, guess what? Finn Balor, new Universal Champion, also injured for at least 6 months, which is a goddamn shame, and that sucks. Like, at what point are we going to admit that perhaps Seth Rollins is not the safest guy in the world to work with, right? Cena, Sting, and now Finn Balor. Anyway, we have Foley and Steph in the ring. We bring out Finn Balor. He relinquishes his title. We see Grim and Duhop in the audience, which is hilarious. And then Finn leaves. Out comes the man, Seth freaking Rollins, who calls that U.S. title beautiful because, you know, he's a heel and it's garbage. And then out comes Sami Zayn, who also wants a shot. And Chris Jericho also wants a shot. Kevin Owens, Enzo and Cass, obviously not Enzo here. And then the boos begin to rain down, if you will, for Roman Reigns. They are not tuning out the boos as bad as they were perhaps last night at SummerSlam, or not, well, maybe before last night, at SummerSlam. But still, some pretty healthy boos for the big dog. The best part of this whole thing is the crowd chanting, "We want Slater." Brooklyn crowd, you are the fucking best. Because, yeah, we want Slater. Where is Heath Slater? But next week, we will crown a new Universal Champion. It's probably going to be Reigns. Anyway, we start off this stuff with guys qualifying to be in a Fatal 4-Way for that show next week. We have Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn to open up the show. We have a bit of an ankle injury angle worked out this match, which was, you know, if they're going to have Seth now have working injuries against his opponents, that's kind of a weird way to go with that character, but sure, okay. At a certain point, Cole botches a thing when they're announcing the next segment, but obviously Seth Rollins wins this match against Sami Zayn. It was alright. And then, yes, there was a Cole botch about, hey, we're going to announce more, and then, oh, never mind, we're going to mention Brock Lesnar. I don't fucking know. This moves on immediately to Kevin Owens versus Neville. Neville, apparently in he wasn't in the opening segment, but apparently Neville in contention for a title shot, which is weird. This whole show, obviously, was going to be half-ass booked because you didn't plan for an injury at SummerSlam, so it's all done last minute, and they're just kind of scrambling. So, anyway, we have a pretty good match here between Owens and Neville. They had that delayed German spot that they did in NXT, where Neville, like, his strength is insane, deadlifting Owens and then giving him a German. Awesome. And then Chris Jericho interferes, and therefore Kevin Owens is your winner, but not with the pop-up powerbomb, but with a torture rack into a neckbreaker, which apparently needs a name. I want to say he's done that as a finish more than once, I think. And here's the big dog hitting the Superman Punch. Anyway, next up we bring out the New Day to celebrate their 365-day tag team title run. 1 year with the belts. I think Byron Saxton calls Big E the big guy, and I'm like, hey, stupid. I'm pretty sure Ryback trademarked that shit, so that might not be the best idea. I don't know. Then again, I don't think Ryback's lawyers are going to be as good as WWE lawyers, so, you know, just ignore it. Just pretend it didn't happen. Anyway, out comes the club because, you know, they technically won at SummerSlam, so they want their shot again at the belts. And then that moves into a Big E versus Anderson match, which obviously Big E's going to win there. And it was alright. It was kind of whatever. So, following that up, we get a Titus O'Neil promo. Titus O'Neil doing his best Kalisto impression with a good lucha thing. Man, that was just, he didn't know what he was saying. I don't know how much of that was planned, but it was terrible. I also don't know if he's a heel, but he was blaming Darren Young for all of his, nice Jericho, all of his failures there, which was pretty good. And then the fans want Heath Slater still, and there's no Heath Slater. So we're not going to see Slater Gator. And then out comes Bob Backlund. And Bob Backlund literally tries to get Titus in the crossface chicken wing. Can't quite get his arm back all the way, but, you know, he tried. And then finally, after a fucking scoop slam, out comes Darren Young. Like, why did it take you that long, Darren Young? What were you doing backstage that you couldn't come out and help Bob Backlund sooner? He's an old man. We hear from Stephanie saying that there's going to be repercussions to what Lesnar did to Shane at the pay-per-view. Not that she should care about Shane. They're on competing shows. But there are going to be repercussions, which to me means, hey, it's Brock's usual vacation until the Rumble. So we're not going to see him, you know, until January or fucking whatever. Who cares? That's kind of, you know, there's, oh, he's suspended. Like, yeah, he wouldn't show up anyway. Anyway, I don't know. Perhaps we'll see him at Survivor Series. You never know. You never know. Then we get Rusev versus Big Cass, which is weird because it ended with a countout and Big Cass won. And I'm like, I understand that obviously Vince is high on Big Cass right now. And that's cool. Like, you know, if you're going to eventually have him grow into a quality singles competitor, that's fine. But also, why would Rusev take a count-out loss when the winner of this match goes on to that Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title? Like, I don't, like, like, taking a count-out loss in any other situation as a heel, fine. But in this match, seems unusual and out of character for Rusev. Anyway, we go backstage with Jericho, and they're kind of teasing a little bit of a split there because they both want to be Universal Champion and that kind of thing. So that could certainly be a compelling feud if those guys end up splitting, even though if they're both heels. But the crowd mostly cheers them anyway, for the most part. We get a Charlotte Dana Brooke promo deal because obviously she is the new women's champion, runs down Sasha, who apparently will be out for a month, but is not going to require back surgery, so that's good. But obviously, if you need a month off to go heal your back up, probably don't have that match you had at SummerSlam. What the fuck? Like, that's going to hurt your back even more. Anyway, this brings out Mick Foley after Charlotte obviously says she has no solid competition in that division anymore because there's no more Sasha, because who else did you fucking draft for the women on Raw? You got, like, Nia Jax and Paige, who's suspended, and I don't even fucking know. Like, nobody else at that level. So, that being said, Mick Foley has signed the hottest free agent today, and I'm like, he signed Heath Slater to the women's division? He's the one-man band, man. I'm like, what? No. The hottest free agent in sports entertainment today is Heath Slater. He's the one-man band, baby. But no, it's not Heath Slater. It's Bayley. Woo! It's Bayley. So, I have to wonder. Like, obviously, she lost to Asuka at NXT. So, perhaps this was always the thing to bring her up. But it seems like, well, perhaps we need somebody else right now, to challenge for that belt and be in a feud for that belt. So, if that was a coincidence, it was a really good coincidence. Anyway, you'd think that they would have known beforehand at what point Sasha was going to need some time off. So perhaps that loss at NXT was planned when they knew that they were going to have to lose Sasha for a month and then bring up Bayley. Anyway, good for Bayley. She's on the main roster now, and she's fighting Dana Brooke in her debut main roster match, and obviously beats Dana Brooke. So, we get a date for the Cruiserweight division to come to Raw. It is September 19th, and I'm curious as to how much of the show they're actually going to dedicate to the Cruiserweights, but that should be cool. Yep, Big Dog wins. There is Sheamus backstage doing his usual blah blah blah, which is a damn shame that Sheamus and Cesaro are locked into their 7-match feud, because certainly either of those guys I would prefer to see in this you know, little mini tournament to find out who's going to be the new Universal Champion next week. Then we get Braun fighting some jobber, and that jobber is there because he likes big sweaty men. Now, I know that Stephanie said they were going to try to work in more LBGT characters into their show. That seems kind of a weird way to do it. I don't know. Anyway, again, thumbs up for this Brooklyn crowd for chanting, "Let's go, Jobber!" Because that's pretty fucking fantastic. And obviously, Braun Strowman wins. Curious by her absence, though. There was no video package or squash match from Nia Jax. Perhaps it was planned, but obviously all their plans changed last minute because they had to have a bunch of extra matches to set up for this stuff for next week. Then we get the Dudleys coming out to pretty much say goodbye and say, hey, they're done. And from what I've seen this morning on the internet, they're actually done. They have like a 1-year deal, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna leave. So they're leaving on good terms. Important things to mention here during this whole retirement angle. Number one, when Balor mentions the Hardys, the crowd just starts going, delete, delete, delete. Fucking amazing. Then comes out the Shining Stars for some reason, giving them some plane tickets to Puerto Rico to go retire. And they start attacking them, obviously, because that's what they do. And then out comes the Club, who eventually puts Devon through a table with the Magic Killer. Now, this is important. They're actually leaving, so they're putting heat on the younger guys who are sticking around. This is what you do when you go out. You go out on your back. That is how the wrestling business works. You put over guys who are sticking around and give them, a little bit of a rub. That's how it works. So, thumbs up on that. The only thing that's disappointing is they brought back the Dudleys after that many years, and they did not give them the honor of being the 10-time champions. Not even for like a week, a month, whatever. Like, it's still 9-time champions. Like, why couldn't you just pull that trigger, make them 10-time champs? Nice round number. Also, they spent the past 3 weeks teasing a split up, and they didn't even do it. It's like, no, we're just going to leave instead. Like, how is it fucking possible we didn't get an awesome Bully Ray run, like in the mid-card, basically doing what Owens is doing at this point? That would have been really fucking cool. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. So, that's a shame. Best luck in whatever they choose to do next. So, your main event, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, and wouldn't you know it, Roman Reigns, even with Owens interfering, Roman Reigns, the big dog, still wins. So that means your 4 in that fatal 4-way are Owens, Cass, Rollins, and Reigns. And one of those 4 is going to be the new Universal Champion next week. And I'd say there's an 80% chance that it's Reigns and a 20% chance that it is Rollins and nobody else. Like, come on now. Like, you knew when Finn Balor won that title, he was keeping it warm for Roman Reigns. You knew that. Like, even with the epic, the amazing boos in almost every arena at this point for Roman Reigns, they still want him as the top face of the Raw brand. And if you're sick and fucking tired of that, I can only say, go watch SmackDown. Because Cena, back on vacation, and now that's going to be the better show. Honestly, because there's not going to be it's not going to be the Roman Reigns show. So, that being said, that is my Raw reactions, and honestly, the Raw reactions right now going on a temporary hiatus, because I'm not going to be able to sit here every fucking week and complain about Roman Reigns being god-awful. I can't do it. So perhaps I'll bring it back around the Rumble or something like that. I don't know. But for the immediate future, Raw reactions, you're done. It's been fun. It's a lot of work, honestly. So, that's it. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. And I'll see you next time right here on this channel. And I'm out.